I come with a flower and with some donuts. Thank you for welcoming us into your home, Cat.
Anytime.
We are here with Board and Berry. Well, you're not Board and Berry, but you are Board and Berry. This is the face behind Board and Berry. I have recently showcased some beautiful charcuterie cones. Yes, cones. Okay, you like have everything you need. Everything that was in the board is in your cone, and you can just walk around. Yeah. So this is the brains, the face behind this, and I am so excited for y'all to get to know her a little bit better, because today we are back at it. We are here for another episode of When Food and Life Meet, Board and Berry, which is AKA Cat.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm very, very happy to be here. And you brought my favorite. I love donuts.
And you recommended this place.
Oh, yeah. So Friendly Donuts in Orange is actually a family-owned business, which is my favorite thing. I love to support family-owned business because there's legacy is important to me. So,
and it's so cute. I don't know if you.
So the son took over. The dad ran. I believe it's the dad ran it for years because it's been there forever. And then the son took over, and they're loud and proud Gen Zers.
Yes, yes, they are.
They totally revamped it, and it is like the funnest little. Not only just a fun picture spot, but their donuts are phenomenal.
There's so many. Phenomenal. Like, I was overwhelmed. I literally had to tell the person, like, this is my first time here. I don't know what to get. And I was looking at the vegan donuts, and he's like, well, these two columns are vegan. I was like, no, not today, but maybe we can go back for that. So today we brought just, we got some napkins. We got some, so you like the old-fashioned plain, like no glaze, y'all. I was like, wow. Plain cake donuts. And then I like the twists, and I thought it was a maple one, but he said it was chocolate, and I felt like nervous, so I just said, just take it, just put it in the box. And I did order a key lime pie, but unfortunately did not make it on its way here. Not because I ate it on the way here. Let's be clear. But because they forgot to put it in, but it's fine. We got some sprinkled donut holes, which super cute. I feel like fun.
Always.
So yeah, so let's let me turn it over. Let's have some donuts, and you know, I want to start with just talking about food. Food. I mean, I feel like we even talked about this before we, our little check-in, and I said, food is so personal. Like, as much as we, like to downplay it, like the choices we make with food, the relationship we have with food, so personal, right?
Yep.
Like, for you, what is your relationship with, is it personal in that way?
100% it is. Even my love for donuts comes from spending time with my grandpa. So my grandpa, he used to pick me up, and he would take me to Dunkin' Donuts.
Aww.
And even as a kid, I loved coffee. Caffeine does absolutely nothing for me. I literally drink coffee because I love coffee.
Wait, you don't get like the caffeine? Wow.
Nothing.
Wow.
But in fact, in actuality, if I have coffee at night, it makes me sleepy.
May we all be so blessed.
There might be a little ADD in there.
I need to get you some espresso, girl.
Well, I do, actually.
Really?
My husband drinks coffee. I drink espresso.
Okay.
But people who are naturally very hyper energetic, caffeine does the opposite.
So that's
kind of balances them out.
Yeah, you got a lot of energy, girl.
I do.
She's just like, let's go.
So my grandpa would pick me up, and we'd get a little box of Munchkin donuts from, donut holes, Munchkins from Dunkin' Donuts, and he'd get me a small coffee, and he'd get a coffee, and yeah, and that was so that. Cute. And then my dad, so I always have to clarify when I'm talking about my dad, because I have my stepdad, and then I have my dad. And so my stepdad was a huge part of my life, is a huge part of my life, and he's been the most present. But my biological dad, he and I got super close in the last few years, and unfortunately passed away 2 years ago. But he's also a donut guy. And so my love for donuts really connects me to the patriarchs in my family.
Wow.
Which is really, it's super deep for donuts, but it's
it's
the truth.
This is very on brand. Let's get deep right away. Let's go.
There is no food in my life that is not emotionally connected to something in a deep and powerful way. Like donuts, seriously. Like I have like these core memories, So it's like,
and they take you back to the moments that like the experience you have with these people in your life. It's
like with my dad, just like Saturday morning donuts,
What was his favorite donut?
I want to say it was an apple fritter.
Well, apple fritters are good.
Apple fritters are
solid.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's funny. My grandmother, she always made. She was Chicana. Honestly, she actually met my grandfather out here in LA, and he took her back to Mexico, which is usually the other way around. Like, because my dad took my mom out of Mexico and brought her here, so I reversed. But so when we go visit them in Ensenada, she knew that we were like, Mexican American, and so to make us, I don't know, I think she just I think it was also nostalgic for her. She would make us waffles when we go visit, and she had the waffle maker that was the square one. Okay. Specifically. So now, when Anna and I moved in together, I was like, I want a waffle maker, but I want the square one.
I have a story about waffles.
Do you? I hope everybody has a story about waffles.
So donuts is my dad, waffles is my stepmom, and so my stepmom is an amazing woman, and she is she's as homegrown as it gets. She her dad had a farm. She was I always get it wrong. She's either from North Dakota or South Dakota, but she's like
one of the Dakotas.
Yes. Yeah. And so just real great down home cooking, and she cooks Mexican food really well too, actually. Her beans are some of my favorite.
What?
Yeah.
Like
some
the
of
pinto
my
beans?
Yeah, like the
refried.
Her beans are phenomenal. And so she was my first homemade waffles. And she makes Belgian waffles, and they were always perfect and just God. So
oh my god,
big breakfasts on Sunday. And yeah, so that's my waffle story. And
it's cool, the charcuterie, the business that you're doing, because I feel like it reminds me of whenever I'm in that sort of space of there's a board and you get together with your friends. It's literally food is literally bringing people together, to be present and to but also enjoy the good food that you have. So how did you have so before we even start talking about your business, I think, right, I'm always very curious and fascinated about how did you get to making these choices, right? Where does life lead you? Or because a lot of people, they see you and they're like, okay, that's what she does. But I'm like, no, there's a whole
thing,
I'm sure, that got you there. And I would love to dive into that. So I don't even know where we would start here with that.
So I think I've been cooking since I was a kid. So when my grandma came over from Mexico, like I said, all my stories are so deep.
We like that here at Donuts. Let's go deep.
So when my grandma came from Mexico, one of her first jobs was in a bakery.
Okay.
So she started out with doing wedding cakes and petit fours and things like that. And
we have a visitor today.
And there he is.
Okay, Winston. I think he's trying to get the
donuts.
Oh, there's still some.
There's a couple munchkins in there.
Oh.
Yeah. So you did totally see me pull out a squirt bottle and squirt the cat off the cat. It's totally fine.
Yes.
But that was one of her first jobs as a pastry chef, a cook. And so, and then she's always just cooked really well. She's always gardened, just like her mom, my great-grandmother. There's always massive fruit trees. So I grew up, whether we were at my great-grandma's house or my grandmother's house, and not just regular fruits. I grew up with figs, apricots, apples, grapes. My grandma grew corn, potatoes, carrots, radishes. The herb garden lined the house, mint, rosemary, thyme, basil, everything, epazote, everything. And so, And so I always felt so weird too, because my grandma, like, I remember one time I got really sick, like with like congestion.
Okay.
And she bundled me up in the car and drove me around the neighborhood till she found someone who had like this eucalyptus tree in their yard. It's pouring rain outside. She asks them if she can trim some branches from their tree, and she made like a caldo.
Oh my God.
For me to breathe.
And you feel better?
I did. It worked, but it was just hilarious.
They know.
You know? And so she came over doing that. And so I grew up baking with her and cooking with her. And then my mom as well. My mom's always been a phenomenal cook. And my love for fine foods came from my mom. And so they're just kind of like the best of both worlds, both of them. And I remember the year we made my mom so mad she went on strike. She didn't cook for almost a year.
Wait, why did you make her mad?
You know, it was one of those days, I think, where we weren't sure what kind of day she had. But me and my dad both came home like so we love her enchiladas, okay? And we were like all day, we were excited. We were like, oh, it doesn't matter what kind of day I have. My mom's making enchiladas.
Yes.
And so we came home and my mom was cooking something simple, which was still good, but it was just, you know, you had you were ready for the enchiladas. And I was like, what happened? I thought you were making enchiladas. And she's like, you know, it's been a really long day and I'm not going to make those today. This is what I'm making. And I was like, all right, my bad. But then my dad came home and he was like, yeah, it's enchilada day. So he comes in the kitchen, same thing. He was like, I thought you were making enchiladas. That was it. She was like, that's it. I'm not making anything. Oh my gosh. She legit went on strike for like a year.
Oh my God. A year?
Yes.
No.
I'm not even kidding.
I thought you were saying like for the week.
No. Girl, when Latinas get mad, we get mad.
Okay. So how did she like come back after, like what made her finally, and what did you do for that year? Do you remember?
My dad and I both cooked. So he don't cook so good. He's got his handful of things. But I was, and she would help me. She would tell me what to do and stuff, but she wasn't doing it. And I was like, man, she was proving her point.
Yeah, I like that.
You gotta be grateful for whatever we have.
But hey, it pushed you to.
It really did. I got my bearings that year, and I learned how to make all of her dishes. And yes, so she jumped back in not too long after that. But anywho, long story short.
Oh, okay. So your mom finally
began cooking again, and then it had always been a dream for me to move out to California. And I met my husband when I was 14.
Oh my God.
So, and he's always lived out here, and so of course.
Wait, where did you meet him?
Sneaking out of youth group. I was sneaking out of youth group. So my grandma, among all her many talents, did Spanish translating for a minister who would like kind of travel. Okay. It was international ministry, and so we met at the Anaheim Convention Center. Okay. My grandma was translating for basically like half of a stadium of Hispanic folks, and they were coming into youth group, and me and my friend were getting ready to sneak out, and I was like, we're not leaving.
Oh my God, you got your eye on somebody.
Oh yes, and turned out my friend who's from California knew them. What were the odds? And so we met and we were pen pals, like wrote letters, talked on the phone. Wow. And I'd get to see him maybe a couple times a year, just as friends, you know. And
because you were 14.
Yeah,
you were 14, you know.
And so we got married when I was 18 and I moved out here.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. And later on in 2011, I graduated from culinary school. My mom and I actually went to culinary school at the same time. Different places.
When you were telling me that story, wait, 1 second. So real quick, super quick, because I don't want to lose what you were talking about earlier about food, and then I'll come back to your mom. But you said something really interesting, and it's when you were I could even tell as you were telling me like how excited you got about like the fact that your mom was going to make these enchiladas. And I feel like that joy, like when you're looking forward to that, like Like, that's special. And I feel like, you know, this day and age, we're just like running. Like, is that something that you bring to your family? Like those moments where you're like, everyone's excited. Whoa, what?
Yeah. Well, when you walked in, she saw, I have a menu on the wall. So I actually didn't do that to be cute. I honestly did it to hold myself accountable to my grocery list so that I stay in my budget, so that we eliminate waste and I kind of meal plan for the week a little better. And we had some family here. We just had my daughter's sweet 16 and everyone came to say goodbye on Sunday as they were making their way on Monday as they're making their way home. And they saw the menu and they're like, wait, today's Monday. You're making pozole today. Maybe we should leave tomorrow. And it was like, oh my gosh.
And so did you make the pozole?
I did. And even though we had just had this massive function and we were exhausted, I felt like we got to spend this time. We had 195 people there. It was huge quinceañera. Whoa. Well, sweet 16, but quinceañera.
Yeah.
And so in the middle of being with all of our family, I feel like we didn't really get to sit with anyone. And so I just kind of texted our immediate family and said, hey guys, I'm making pozole if you want to come and eat. And everyone just kind of showed up and we got to sit here and eat and talk about the quinceañera. You can go, you're not in the frame.
You're okay. You're fine.
And
you're good.
And we got to talk and eat and relax, and it was just really good. Like it kind of set my heart, you know, because I was still kind of from all the planning and the doing, and then it was just like, oh, okay, now we get to just sit and eat and talk and hear from each other. And it was such a good day.
And I think that speaks to like what food can be. Because I think, like, I know for me personally, I've always had this like weird relationship with food, you know, where I've struggled with my weight and all this stuff, and so I'm trying to like redefine my relationship with food. And so when I hear stories like that, I'm just like, oh, like food is personal and food still is a big part of our lives, and it doesn't have to be this like negative thing, you know. It's like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? So when I hear that story, I'm just like, oh yeah, it like reminds me, as I'm like, I was telling you, like, I'm looking forward to like growing my family. I'm like, okay, what do I want to bring into my home, you know, and how do I want my family to see food? So this is like, good to hear.
I mean, and I love that you brought that up about the negative connotations with food, because we live in a world where, you know, thin is in. Always. Some form of thin is in. And, you know, bless the Kardashians for trying to bring the curves to the forefront, you know, but...
I don't think we've ever said that on those episodes. I love it. Bless the Kardashians.
You know, they've tried. They really did.
They really have.
But, you know, I've always grown up that curves are beautiful, you know, and I've been gordita for a while now. And you know what? I've learned to just love my body. And yes, I exercise. Yes, I am trying to get my weight down, but not at the expense of my experience with food.
Yeah.
I mean, we make better choices. I mean, we've learned not to cook everything in lard, you know. There's olive oil, avocado oil. There's all these wonderful things that we can do, you know, to kind of, you know, make our adjustments. But food is deeply personal and it's meant to be enjoyed. I've never been the kind of person who eats to live. I live to eat. And so, you know, it's always been that. And I'd rather, Sophia Loren was like, I'd rather eat pasta than be a size 0. And I completely agree, because look at Sophia Loren.
I know.
You know, it's like,
well, what it was, you just said it offline, or I don't know if, I think you said it offline, but you were talking about your grandma, about how it's all about moderation.
Everything is fine in moderation. I mean, go get the burger and the Coke and fries, and maybe tomorrow you do some roasted veggies, and, you know, and we have, even in my house, we eat everything: seafood, meat, chicken, pork, but there's usually 2 days a week at least where I don't put any animal protein in it. We eat very well, lots of veggies, lots of fresh greens. Because, you know, you have to eat balanced.
You have to, yeah.
And eat seasonally. That's a really big important one. Even with charcuterie, like...
What do you mean? Yeah.
So even when you're preparing charcuterie boards, one of the things that I teach in my workshops is that you should eat seasonally. So here in California, you get strawberries all year long. But what's best for our economy and what's best for our palate, what's best for the board itself, is to eat with the seasons. So you're not going to see tons of summer fruits on my boards in November. You're going to see figs. You're going to see darker grapes. You're going to see dried fruits because we preserve, right? To, you know.
I never thought of that. I've never thought of it like that. Yeah.
And the fruit that's of the season tastes better. You'll see persimmons on there. It's like you kind of flow with the agricultural chart, and your boards will always taste better. Even your food will taste better if you flow with the seasons. That's why we're seeing our feeds inundated with butternut squash and how to make the soups and the roast. You know, it's like,
yeah, that makes sense then, huh?
You know, what did I do? I was on one of my weight loss kicks, and I did sweet potato tacos.
Oh, how was that?
So I took my sweet potatoes and I chopped them up. I tossed them in olive oil, and I put all the seasonings I would put on my carne.
Okay.
You know, so like your paprika, your a little, you know, cayenne or chili powder or achiote. You'd put garlic, onion.
You're making me so hungry right now.
You just toss it up and you roast it till they're tender, okay? And then you take your corn tortillas and you put like a little queso Oaxaca or a little shreddy, melty Mexican cheese. You put spinach, chopped up fresh spinach, right? And then you put your sweet potatoes in there, and you don't fry them in oil. You just put them on a hot comal, just enough it's like crispy, you were making a quesadilla. And so it gets nice and cheesy, and then you pull them off, and then you can stuff them with whatever else you want.
Do you have pictures of this?
I stole this recipe, okay? This is from like the Fit Girl Challenge cookbook or whatever. But I made it my own.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think they...
And people usually take sweet potatoes and they make them, you know, sweet. They
I don't like
them
sweet, no.
I'm a savory girl.
Yes.
My problem is not saying no to dessert. My problem is having 6 more tacos. That's my problem. Because tacos are life. Tacos are life. But that's, you know, and so we learned how to, you know, and the kids were like, are these vegetables? There's no meat in here? And I was like, no, these are pretty good. And I was like, I know, right? And it's like, you know, so you eat with the seasons, you know, you treat your body well. And if we've got a little extra gordies, well, there's more to love.
No, I think that's cool. I unfortunately did not grow up with being curvy. Was like, in my home was like, no. It was like a big no.
A little here too.
Yeah.
A little here too.
That's something that's interesting is like, I feel like it was like growing up, it was like my mission was to be like, how do I reverse what I've done to myself? Instead of really understanding why am I doing this to myself? Like if I was overeating or, you know, did have a certain relationship with food. So now it's like, I'm an adult and now I'm being that parent to myself. Being like, okay, Jackie, is this Del Taco gonna make you feel better afterwards? Because, you know, it's like for me, I'm like, well, it's okay to have a Del Taco, but if I'm eating it to make myself feel better, that's different, right?
Oh, yes.
Like I think my emotional eating is like
everything. So
yeah, working through that.
You know what's a fun conversation to have too? Is that same mindset towards alcohol. Am I pouring a glass of wine because I had a hard day? Am I having a cocktail because I'm stressed or I'm worried or I'm frustrated? Right. Like, you know, we talk about moderation and we talk about healthy habits, and it's like even with alcohol, it's like if you're stressed out, if you're frustrated, if you've had a long day and your first inclination is to pour a drink, that's a negative relationship with alcohol. You know,
you just said it to the relationship. Like, what are you building? What is the relationship you're building with said thing?
Why are you going to that?
Yeah.
And so it's like, in every area with food, you know, we have to be really like, we have to really think about ourselves and how we're treating ourselves, you know, in that way. And so it's like, even with that, a lot of people will ask, you know, oh, well, you do charcuterie and stuff. And, you know, it's like, but you're Christian. Do you have wine? Do you drink alcohol? And it's like, you know, occasionally I might have a glass of wine. If my husband and I are celebrating an anniversary, I may have, you know, something, but I don't drink regularly. I haven't for years, and it's because it was that for me.
Yeah.
It was what I went to when I was stressed, when I was worried, when I was upset, when I wanted to escape.
Escape.
Like,
I love. Yeah, that's
like I don't like what's happening. I'm gonna drown into a bottle, or I'm gonna drown into a tub of ice cream or a plate of tacos.
Hey, girl. And
it's
girl.
like
it is truly, if you're able to, and I think that's like the era I'm in right now, where I'm like, I'm able to like be so self-aware that I'm being more cognizant and more intentional about my decisions. I'm like, well, and then I go, and then I don't, and then, but it's like, it's about at least giving yourself grace to like ask yourself, like, why am I doing this? Or what am I trying to escape from? And chances are, like, once you address those issues, it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's liberating. Because then you're just like, I don't have something that's holding me back, or I don't have something that's like, and then it allows you to enjoy food the way that
it's meant to
be enjoyed. Yeah. Yes. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for, because, it's, having a food blog is so interesting because people, and I don't know if, you have a food business, right? So it's like, for me, I'm like, how do I don't want to like, even though I have this interesting relationship with food, how can I still enjoy it, and still love what I love, but in a brighter way or whatever. So that's what I'm trying to like work through. And I think just being more vocal about it is like, it feels nice to just have this space. So,
and my grandma, we were talking about this offline too, is my grandma's always told me, everything is fine in moderation. It's when we overindulge, it's when we go, too far that we see the negative impacts on our body. I was sharing my grandmother is 77 years old, and she has no health problems, no high blood pressure, no high cholesterol,
no diabetes, nothing.
She's not on any medications, and she goes to her annual checkups, and they're like, okay, you didn't list any of your medications, and she's like, I don't have any.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like, why? What do you mean? How do you not have any medication? Because they're not used to seeing people who aren't inundated on medication at her age. And and her lifestyle is super simple. She does things like she wakes up at the same time every day. She goes to bed early. She takes a nap in the middle of the day. She's always up. She
takes a nap in the middle of the day? Oof.
She has her midday naps. So one thing I started doing.
Yeah, do we nap?
Yes. Absolutely. Sleep makes us.
Can we talk about
sleep makes us pretty.
Wait,
hello, Europeans. Why do you think they're so beautiful and exotic? They sleep in the middle of the day.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's because, our body needs and it's not like a 3-hour nap, again, everything in moderation, right?
Right.
But it's just like, one thing I did too, like before I went back into food, because I've always kind of been in food and then been in corporate America, and been in food and been in corporate America. And so when I would work, a lot of times I would eat my lunch and then go to my car. And I would take like a 15-20 minute nap before I went back to work. Or I would take a walk. I would just kind of alternate.
What gave you how did you allow yourself to do that? Because I feel like so many of us will not. Will feel guilty, or I don't know.
So I just try to listen to my body. If I'm tired, then that means I need to rest. The craziest thing was that I would feel guilty for taking a nap. I felt guilty for letting my body rest. And it's, we were talking about that too offline, is that how the culture of work yourself to the bone is so bad for you. It's like, if you're sick, your body's telling you, hey bro, I'm shutting down. You should probably rest.
Yes.
So I can heal.
Yes.
And you should probably put something better in your body than that quick Del Taco we're grabbing on the road. Even like things like if I'm in a hurry, my grandma would tell me, sit down. And I'm like, I'm in a hurry. Sit down. Why? It's bad to eat standing up. And so it's like,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. It was bad standing up.
Well, because your body doesn't rest. It stays in like.
Okay. Okay, so before when we were talking offline, I was like, I was processing what you were saying, and I'm like, okay, how do I? So now what's coming to mind, because I get very existential, is what is it about, maybe it's American culture, right? And maybe the Europeans don't have this issue, right? But it's like, there's something about once you start working, and honestly, it's not even working, right? It could even start like when you're in school, right? In high school and college, that it's like you as a human being, like there's levels to you, right? Like you as a human being, you're like, okay, that's nice. Now let's just like layer all these things, and these are the things you have to worry about. And this idea of like you just existing, right? Or doing things, having hobbies, or doing things just for your, being in the moment, having people to have moments with yourself, with your family, with nature, with life, like these things that make you human or help you have a human experience. It's like all of that just gets, you just get covered up in all this stuff that it just like, I feel like so many of us are just like, I think the burnout makes you realize like, wait, hello, like I'm a human too. Like how can I do all of this when this foundation is just, I'm not going to say the word distracted, but rather it's just,
not solid.
I feel like it vanishes. That's the word that comes to mind. Like, I feel like I don't even remember my 20s. Like, I just remember working. Like, literally, how sad is that? Like, I look at my 20s and all I think about is like working and fucking being hard on myself and just, anyways, I'm just going off on a tangent here, but it just like.
But so many people have that same experience because we've put this pressure on ourselves, or you could even say we've adapted to the culture around us because the culture tells us, and I'm so anti the grind culture. You got to grind. You got to fake it till you make it. You got to get up and do all the things. And it's like, no. No. Because I've had the unique experience of connecting with people who don't do that. And don't get me wrong. Yeah. They're not laying in a hammock.
Right.
On their laptop.
I think it's the approach. It's the approach in which you want to do that.
And it starts with your foundation, And so for us, it's like, for me, I've shared with you, I have a very strong foundation of faith. And so for me, it's like, whatever God wants me to do, that's what I'm going to do. And if it's not for me, then it's not for me. And what God has for me is what he has for me. And so, it's scriptural for me. He opens the doors that are supposed to be open for me, and he closes the ones that are not for me. And we get so fixated sometimes on the closed door, and we take that internally to like maybe, we did something wrong and that's why it didn't work out. And it's like, no, maybe that wasn't your path. And you should try walking down the path that is for you. And for me, my faith, it tells me that, things that are not from God are rushed. They have to be now. There's a pressure. You have to move because you're going to lose this opportunity. It's never going to come back around. You're going to miss your moment. But
she's a pastor. Can you tell? Sit tight, y'all.
So for me also, like I said, what God has for me is for me. So if this is something that is for me from God, he's not going to rush me to do it. I will have peace in this, right? He provides, he makes the way. And so even if I miss my moment, his word tells me that, he works all things together for good. That doesn't mean he calls bad things good. It just means that even if I went the wrong way or chose the wrong thing, he's going to still work it out the way it's supposed to be. Because that's just who he is, because he loves us so much. Yeah. And so for me, I learned to find my balance in trusting him, because there were times where I'm like, oh, I totally missed that opportunity and now it's never going to happen. And oh man, this thing. And then it's like something even better becomes open and I'm available for it because this didn't happen. Yes, absolutely. And it's like, oh, maybe if I would have just chilled out, I wouldn't have had to spend all this time freaking out. I could have just rested.
Yeah.
And we don't push rest enough. And so for my grandma, coming back to my grandma, that's the thing, is like listening to what's going on, in my spirit from the Lord, from my life, this is my season of rest. Like I was freaking out over the summer. I was like, I just started this business. There's no orders coming in. My business is going to die.
You were literally?
Yeah. went 100 all the way. It's like, that's it. I'm toast.
Okay, and?
I was like, this business was probably not what God wanted me to do. And I've been so busy with stuff. I can't even,
oh my God.
I can't even keep it straight. I'm even contemplating hiring someone.
Oh my God. I think that's a good problem to have.
And so one thing my husband and I were talking and he was like, maybe the summer's your rest season for business, which leaves you open to one rest. And here's the thing, we get a rest season and we're like, well, if I'm resting in my business for this season, that means I could be filling it with all this other stuff. And then we miss our rest moment.
Yes.
And then when things get busy, we're burnt out because instead of resting, we filled it.
You know, it's... So the what is it? The trap or the whatever
the roundabout.
The roundabout.
Yeah.
As you're talking, I'm like, okay, it's interesting, and I think it's a process. But I think I feel like for me it always comes down to, because I before this year, like, you would have probably met a different Jackie, to be honest. Like, like I'm kind of going through this process where I'm just like, I kind of have simplified some stuff for myself. So that's one thing I do credit my mom, because I was telling you how she's like, always like,
keep it
simple. And I'm like, okay, so maybe my perception of that was different. Maybe what she means, maybe there is something to her after all, right? After all, mom. But maybe what it is like, there's always going to be stuff, and we can make ourselves as busy or not busy as possible, right? But it's like that foundation. I think that, like, self-respect as an individual, as a human being, the love you have for yourself, you're like, okay.
Value of self.
And this foundation of, like, who you are, like, ground yourself. Like, it's like the visual I get is like, the world is moving around you, but you're steadfast, you know, in who you are. And the community you have with your like your family, your friends that you cultivate. Like, right now when you were talking about, I was like, okay, what are the things that are the most beautiful in my life? Well, it's the people that I love. Like, that's what grounds me. Yeah. Because in the moments of hardship and accomplishments, like, you want to run to tell those people, right? Like, so you hold on to that. And, like, one of my friends always tells me, she's like, to, like, help me with, like, when things change or whatever, she's like, plot twist, like, it's just a movie, like, plot twist, like, all right, well, what's gonna happen through the door now? Like, you have to have a sense of humor about it, because it's like, all these things can change, but since you're steadfast and you have the people that are close to you and you're nurturing that, like, that's fundamentally what's gonna move you. Then let everything, like, even coming to the acceptance as a business owner myself, of being like, I'm totally in my power girl era right now, by the way. I'm like, I feel like I'm stepping into my power. And what I mean by that is, like, yes, I'm going to work hard. Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I?
Yes.
But it's on my terms, right? It's my motivation. It's like, and now I'm finally like, dude, if I fall, I don't care. Let me fall. Let me get some Band-Aids. Like, because I want to do this. Like, I want to go for it.
Absolutely.
And so, I don't know. It's like the space I'm in right now. And so to hear you say that,
it's perfect, because so one of my favorite authors, and she has no idea who I am. And, but I will meet her when.
Well, we're putting out there manifesting here. What's her name?
Lisa Turkhurst.
Okay.
I want to take her to coffee one day and have lunch. And so
I'm going to make a video out of this and tag her, by the way.
Praying for that.
Why? Why do you want to take her for lunch?
Her books have impacted my life so much, because, you know, everyone learns differently, and we respond. Some people require a more direct, firm tone. Some of us need to sit down with auntie and and get some lemon pound cake and a coffee and just have that gentle convo. And I feel like her books talk to you like you're just a good friend or someone she just loves, and you read it like she's talking to you, and it's fantastic. It's just, and so one of the most impactful books that she wrote for me was The Best Yes, and she talks so much about learning how to say no, and the way she said it, so because this is the way I hear it and this is the way I share it. Okay. You have to learn how to give a gentle but firm no, so that you can give your best yes to what is for you. Ooh. Because not everything, and she talks about it mostly from a ministry perspective, right? But
I feel like that can be applied to anything.
Yeah, well, because so she's an author, right? She's been writing books forever. And she said, you know, if I say yes to every single thing that comes my way, I'd never have time to write. So you have to like carve out your time for the things that you want to do and what's important to you, and you have to learn how to honor your commitment. You know, the word tells us to let our yes be yes and our no be no. So if we say yes, we have to honor our commitments. If we say no, we have to honor our commitments. Ooh. And so we have to learn how to say no to some really good things to say yes to the really great things.
Ooh, I'm letting that sit right there.
Yeah.
Just landed.
I'll put it in your pocket. Take it
Yeah,
out later.
yeah.
You know, but that was a huge thing for me because growing up in church and growing up just as a young Hispanic girl, we just it was cultivated in a way to you know, you do, and you know, and so when something really great would come along that I would want to do, I couldn't because I had already pre-committed to all these other things that maybe didn't serve my purpose, and I would label it as, well, I'm just doing my part. But your part is to fulfill your purpose. So if you're walking in your purpose, you know, your impact will be greater.
And you'll have inner peace.
You will have so much peace because you're actually doing the thing you were created for.
Yeah.
And so we can fill our lives doing all the things and say that we're productive and we're impactful, but you will be more impactful walking in your purpose than you ever can just filling the time. And I had to learn that because it was hard to say no. You would feel guilty and feel, well, they're not gonna, nobody else is going to help. Someone will come who that's their purpose to do that thing. And then that thing that you were going to do, probably as best as you could, someone who's actually purposed to do that will come in and knock it out of the park. And you could have been taking up their spot. So it's like, it works out. You know? And so I just, like, even like what you were talking about, how the things that ground us, mine is my husband and my kids 100%, because we get busy, you know, you said we're pastors, and she has a business, and
the pastor, and you guys are, that's your church.
Senior pastors of our church. And then my husband has his own company as well. So we're entrepreneurs
to the max.
And
wow.
And you know, our kids have played club sports, they're active in school. I'm on the booster boards for sports. Like, we do all the things. But again, these are things that have been purposed in me to do. One of my prayers growing up, like as a kid, was that I didn't want to be in any type of career. I wanted to be a mom. Oh. My mom actually read this speech at our wedding. I said that I wanted to live in California and have at least 2 cats. I have 3 and a dog.
Oh, you have 3 cats?
3 cats.
Where's the 3rd one?
She didn't come out because she's shy.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay. I want 3.
And I wanted to get married and have a family. That's all I wanted to do. Or be a Christian rapper.
Well. You can't just say that. You can't
I am not rapping. Dang. No way.
We love to dance and sing here.
Oh, I know. I love to dance. I love to dance. Even when we get busy with all the good things.
Yes.
My purpose, first and foremost, before I'm a pastor, before I'm a businesswoman, before I'm anything to anybody else, I am a wife to my partner, my husband. We are partners in this thing. And I am a mother to my kids. Those are my 2 first ministries. And so I pour into those things first. And when we get overwhelmed, when we get too busy with all the good things, we take time to like, okay, we're not doing anything on this day. We're going to either cook, or we're going to go eat, or we're going to have a day. We're going to pour into each other. We're going to be with each other, whether it's a family game night or a movie night, or we go on a hike or the beach, whatever it is. We spend time with each other. We ground ourselves in each other.
How do you pour time for yourself? How do you do that?
Oh, that's actually not a problem for me at all.
Oh, let's hear it.
I learned that a long time ago.
Oh my God, I need that. How do you make sure you pour time for yourself?
Because guilt comes with that too. And so I had to learn to say no. Because when I can't, it's the, I don't know if you want to call it a cliche or what do you want to call it? You can't pour from an empty cup. You yourself have to be full. I cannot give to my congregation what I don't fill myself with. I have to be in prayer. I have to be in my word. I have to spend time with God for me before I can even give out to people. I have to myself be rested and healthy and doing the things that make my heart sing in order to pour into my family adequately. right? I can't help them talk through hard things if I myself am going through a hard thing that I haven't walked through yet either.
Wow.
So my things that I love to do, one is I love quiet time, and cooking.
Okay.
So I'll like maybe pre-cook something for later. I hate cleaning, but I'll clean. But that's not the way I pour. I love to go walking. I'll usually walk like Anaheim Cove Trail.
There's a really cool park on the right side on the street.
Yes, it's like a baseball park.
There's like a pond.
Oh,
lake.
Eisenhower Park. Yeah, I can get a little sketchy sometimes.
Oh, really?
So,
Oh, okay, never mind.
It can be a little funny. It just depends. It just depends.
I was like, oh, that's so pretty.
Grijalva Park is really great in Orange to walk.
Okay.
And then the Anaheim Cove Trails, or even a little hike. I love to read.
Okay.
I love to read faith-based books, self-improvement books, but I've learned I have a niche. If you go to my library.
What's your niche?
World War II era books. I love reading people's stories. And they're not biographies. They're like, but some of them are based on true stories.
Oh, wow.
And
I love World War II stuff too.
I just love it.
There's by the way, I'll have to give it to you later. There's a nonprofit that they specialize in trying to get as many stories of World War II. And it's a YouTube channel. These young people, like a family.
I would love
And I'm like, how did I stumble across this? Well, because I went to Pearl Harbor over the summer, and then I just went down a hole there, like just researching and stuff. But yeah, I came across that, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, we went to Pearl Harbor also.
Pearl Harbor too, yeah.
Yeah.
Impresionante.
And so I love to read. I love to, and I'm not a coffee shop reader. I just love the quiet. So I'll go like park at a park.
Oh, yeah? And sitting on the grass?
And I love nature. So I'm a mountain girl.
Okay.
But I also love the beach. But I'll go to the beach maybe for an hour in the morning.
Okay.
I'll walk. I'll pray. I'll read. I'll grab a coffee, sit in my car, go to the park. I really recharge in quiet. I'm like super extrovert. And then I go like I fall into like my hermit phase for a few days. And then I come back out. It's like I recharge in the quiet, but I love being with the people.
You're like do all the things, by the way. Like as you were listing this, I was like, this is like literally what you were taught to do, and a lot of us it's so hard to do. But this gives me some hope for myself, like because it's just to create these habits.
You just have to really. For me, it's leaning into my faith. I really let the Lord lead me. But my quiet time is where I recharge the most. And I recharge, like I said, like through prayer, reading my word, reading books. Sometimes I'll just take myself to go eat. Yeah. And I'll just be quiet. I'll turn my phone off well, not off, but do not disturb. And I'll eat my food, and I'll really just, I know this is going to sound funny, but like I said, I'm such a foodie, but I'll smell the smells. I'll listen to the sounds. Like it's comforting for me. It's like I'm hearing, and I love family-owned businesses. So it's like, that's someone's uncle back there and their nephew, and they're back there just cooking together, and you can hear them talking, and it's just, I love to be outside.
I don't know if you can catch this, but like as you're describing this, I'm like, dang, like you have really harnessed how to be present. Because when you talk about like, you're like, it's funny eating by myself. You know what? I thought of like when I go out and eat by myself, I'm like, I get like, I'm going to just say it, like, I've been learning to like how hard it is for me to be by myself by myself, like, and trying to build a better relationship with myself, because there are times when it's hard. It's uncomfortable for me to be like by myself, which is like,
it's uncomfortable for a lot of people. It's very common. Some people have a hard time not doing anything. So my aunt, whom I love, she's actually one of my best friends. Technically, she's my cousin, but we're Hispanic. So if there's a certain age gap, she's a tia. But she's one of my best friends in the whole wide world. She's my tia Pati. I just call her Pati.
Shout out tia Pati.
Yeah. She's fantastic. She is probably one of the coolest people I know. She's just super thoughtful, give you the shirt off your back, just very attentive. She's also a charcuterie person. She's always put it out every year during the holidays, and she's just a fantastic host. And she's so warm and loving and hilarious. Like, don't sit us next to each other in church. We will be cracking jokes. We'll get kicked out. We'll get kicked out of church. And so, you know, she's just a wonderful, but she'll even tell you, she cannot just sit down. It's hard. And I have a lot of friends who can sit, but they can't be in quiet. They have to have music on or something. And it's like, and I tell them, like, you know, like, I've challenged people, like, do this for a week. Try for 15 minutes. Don't touch your phone. Take your Apple Watch off. All the things. Go sit outside for 15 minutes and just be quiet.
And you know,
it is so hard. People will get mad.
Well, you know what it is? Not to get, I mean, we get deep here, but it's like part of it, honestly, for me, is that like when you do that, you start to realize a lot of the things in your head that you don't want to address or think about, or like how you're feeling about that. Like, I did a sound bath recently, and it took me a few minutes to like really just not think about anything. And then I started to think about things that like, it was such quiet that I was like starting to be more honest about myself about certain things. I'm like, oh my God, like, so I think it's just good for the soul. It's hard because it's like, for some of us it's hard, but I think ultimately it is good. It is healthy to have that
quiet time.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw you for a huge loop right now.
Okay.
So one of the things I like to do, here's the other thing. My husband's from a huge family. I'm my mom's only child. My dad and my stepmom have 3 girls after me. So in that family, we're a family of 4 girls.
Okay.
With my mom, I'm her only. With my stepdad, he also has 3.
Okay.
And so in that family, when we're all together, we're also a family of 4. But I grew up as an only child, and my grandma, you know, the grandma, she helped me cultivate that alone time, because she's, you know. And so one of the things I do both as a pastor and as a person is, like I said, I recharge in alone time.
Okay.
So when I have like big decisions to make, when I'm asking the Lord for guidance on just anything, life, business, the church, anything, I will actually, because I love the mountains more than anything, I will get a cabin in Lake Arrowhead for a weekend and go by myself.
No way.
I started doing this a few years ago, and I will just spend the weekend. Like, I'll drive up on a Friday and I'll come back Sunday after, like, in the evening. And I'll just take those days to like put the fire on, cook, be quiet, walk.
Oh my gosh.
I don't turn music on. Maybe I might watch a little bit of TV, but I try to make it a point not to while I'm there.
Okay.
Because I love watching shows and movies.
Yeah.
We're big movies. My family, we speak in movie.
Love it.
Yeah, we speak in movie. But I'll go up to just be quiet and be alone and undistracted. And that was transformational. The first time, oh my gosh, I swore I was going to get murdered in my bed, because I was like, there's windows all the way around this cabin.
That is scary.
My
That is.
bed
And you're by
bottom
yourself?
floor, and I'm alone. There's no escape. And I'm on a mountainside, so I can't even jump out the window or I'll fall down the cliff. It's like all the things that were running through my head.
Oh my gosh.
And the Lord, I could just feel like God was like, bro, are you kidding me right now? Chill out. Relax. I was like, okay, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Oh my gosh.
But now it's like, oh, I can't wait to go. And I do it once or twice a year. One of the things we also do for our ministry is we have women's retreats, because women don't know how to stop. And so we take them up to Lake Arrowhead, this beautiful chateau. We take like 25 women. And our team, we cook, we pick up, we do all the things. We give little gifts. I love gift giving. We give little gifts and things. And the women will not stop coming in the kitchen. Can I help with it? I'm like, go sit down. Can I help you get nope, go rest.
I know.
And I tell them on orientation day when they get there, I'm like, your job here is to rest. I mean, we have a few talk times, but for the most part it's open.
Yeah.
Go take a nap.
Sounds amazing.
Go for a walk. Turn the fireplace on in your room. Read a book. Take a bubble bath. Almost all the rooms have jetted tubs. Take a bath.
Wow.
We give them little do not disturb signs.
Oh my God.
Put them on so people don't walk in on your bath. and ruin your,
Oh my gosh.
your quiet time. But we tell them
Quiet
your
time.
responsibility here is to unplug. We even tell them to don't bring your laptops for work. You are not working this weekend. You are here to unplug from everything, to rest and receive. Let us love on you. Let us pour into you and go back so that you can pour.
Yeah, you went, that's interesting. That makes me want to ask you, like, why do you think it's so, for so many of us, it's hard to like allow love in? Allowing.
Oh gosh. I think because we have to acknowledge the fact that that we need it, and we're kind of programmed to not need anything from anyone and be self-sufficient. But it's not the most horrible thing in the world to acknowledge that you want to be loved by another person and that you want to, be able to rest and relax. But it's a vulnerable place for us, because we see it as
A weakness?
we're inadequate in some way, that we need another person.
Right.
And it's really not, because, what I believe from my faith, from the word, from as a Christian, is that God designed us for relationships, and so it's fundamentally how we're created. And so to say we need no one is kind of goes against how you're made. And so to me, I just, I need my husband. I need my kids. I need my friends.
Yeah.
I need these people,
Yeah.
and they need me. We talked earlier about walking in your purpose, and it's like, whether you're called to be a stay-at-home mom or a CEO of a company, you're going to impact the lives around you. I mean, you might think I'm just home raising a kid. You could be raising the next world leader. You could be raising a world changer, and you just don't know. And so that's why, whatever you're called to, whatever is purposed in your heart. And that's the thing that my husband and I were talking to. He's like, you don't have to start a business.
Oh yeah, that's a good segue. Okay.
You don't have to do a charcuterie business if you don't want to. I love working with food. I love it. There's so much more behind this that I want to share.
Look at that smile, though.
I'm not sure if I can.
But look at your smile. Like, wow. Like,
But it's
I think
because
that's awesome.
It's my love for people. I love nourishing people. I love loving on them, making them feel seen. I love, I've always known I was going to be the Thea that feeds everybody. Because, food is more than just filling your stomach. I can think of times where I was like totally,
this light went
like,
off.
what was it? When we had COVID, one of my closest friends now, we hadn't talked in a long time. We were old colleagues at the time, but now we're just one of my closest friends. She found out we had COVID, and she called me. We were talking, and later on that day, Amazon Fresh arrived, and it was like fresh pressed juices.
Wow.
Okay, instant pho, and I forgot what else was in there, but somewhere along the way, she remembered that I love tulips, and there was a big bouquet in there of yellow tulips. And I was like, I cried like a baby. I was like, this is what I needed right now. Because I felt it. It wasn't even about the fact that it was food. It was just like,
you felt seen. You felt like, there's
so seen.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it was literally just a box of groceries. And it was, and I love that, because, I don't know. It's just that.
I'm like, I don't know if it's the same thing, but one of my friends sent me a Ralph's pickup. They dropped it off a bag full of hot Cheetos. So I felt pretty seen as well.
Yeah.
But it is, food has that ability to do that. Well, let's segue into what are we gonna do right now? We're gonna make
a charcuterie board.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're gonna make a charcuterie board.
Yeah, let's do it, and then we can talk about your business a little bit more. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right, we'll be back. All right, so we are back because we're gonna make a board and berry board. I guess. What do you want to call it?
Yeah, charcuterie board. This is our mini.
How cute.
like our snack. It's good for 1 to 2 people. And so we're going to start with our cheeses. So I actually recently connected with Marin French Cheese, which is one of the best bries here. And I created some content for them for Halloween. And they sent me a box full of gold.
Oh my God.
A bunch of petite bries and regular bries. So this is what we would call a breakfast brie. Oh. It's a little lighter than regular brie. And it's perfect in the morning. Like... with anything. Jam though specifically. And so this little guy, you can cut him or you can just put him right on the board. But you can see it like it doesn't have the rind.
No.
It's not.
It smells so good.
It smells really light.
I love brie.
So we can put it on here or you can cut it. Do you want to cut it?
Let's cut it.
Let's cut it.
Let's cut it. So how do we cut it?
I like to go against the thing, and you're going to use your cheese wire. Cheese wire is good for soft cheeses like brie, Havarti, Gouda.
Oh my God. Okay. So where do I go? Like in the middle?
Down the middle, straight.
Just like this?
The other way.
Like like this? Yes. Or like this?
Either way.
Okay. Wow.
See how? Yes. Now pull the cheese off with your hand.
Oh, with my hand. Oh yeah, I have the gloves, so we're good.
It's so funny when you use new tools in anything,
I know.
you forget the function of your rest of your body.
You're like, you can do that? Okay.
And then you're
beautiful.
And then we're going to cut it in half again, the other way. So connect them back together like it's still a circle.
Oh, like this.
Yep,
okay.
and now cut it horizontal.
Like this.
Yep.
Okay. So now we got...
Yep, now we have 4.
Love it. Okay.
And so we're going to put it back together.
Okay. I'm all tearing.
I'm going to keep it together. And then we're going to cut in the middle of all 4 sections.
Oh, okay.
So right here and right here.
Okay.
Yep. So just like that. And then you can slide the knife out. And then right there.
And then right there. What's your favorite part of making the boards?
Making the boards.
Oh,
it's like art. You know, I try. A lot of people kind of... what's the word I'm looking for? Their pride and joy on it is creating a system where you make it the same every time. Mm-hmm. I like changing it up a little bit every time.
Love that.
And so we can just kind of follow the plate.
Okay.
And fan it out, and then you can do the other side.
Okay.
Another way you can cut it is straight across the middle, so you have 2 rounds, and you kind of stack them on top of each other. Oh. And if you want to be
that would have been
fancy, you could put some honeycomb on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of board to make? Because you made some Halloween ones that were fun.
Those got a lot of traction, but Christmas is definitely my favorite, and Thanksgiving because I love the colors.
Oh my God, I'm messing this up. Sorry. So does it matter or
no?
Okay.
No, you can have them going the same way or opposite, however you like. So the next one, brie is always going to be fun because you can play with it. There's so many different ways you can cut it. My other next one that I love to do is manchego. So I'm going to show you how to do one slice.
How is it that you chose my 2 favorite cheeses?
What are your 2 favorite cheeses?
Manchego and brie.
Oh, how fun.
How is this possible? Is this like meant to be or what?
Yes.
Clearly.
Manchego is the best. And so since we have a small board, you see our triangles are kind of big, right? Yeah. Our block is big. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cut one so I can show you how to cut it.
Okay.
And then you're going to cut the rest.
Okay.
You can cut like maybe 3 pieces. So you're just going to cut straight down and you're going to put pressure on both sides of the knife.
Okay.
And see, these are kind of big, right?
Yeah.
We're just going to cut it in the middle.
Okay.
And so this is what I also like to call too many people were invited. So I would normally serve them this size, right? And that would make me probably about 7 pieces, 8 if I'm really trying.
Okay.
But a bunch of people showed up that I wasn't preparing for. So you cut them in half and now you have 16.
Oh, little tip.
And you can just kind of fan them out. So you're going to cut another couple pieces.
Okay, a couple pieces. Okay, here we go.
Yep. Put knife on.
Is that good?
Wait.
So too thin. Is that good? Right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to put pressure on both sides. And manchegos are sheep's milk cheese, and it is a semi-hard cheese. The longer you age a cheese, the harder it gets, the less moisture is in there. Yep, and we're going to cut it right in the middle.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know that about cheese. Okay. And then...
Yep. I'm going to keep them right on here.
Oh, like a little trail.
And now we have our 4 pieces. Perfect.
Okay.
Now we're going to do And when you're making a cheese board, sometimes you gotta adjust, right?
Okay.
To make room for everything. We're gonna do one of the seasonal favorites.
Seasonal, did you catch that? Seasonal.
So goat cheese is available all year, or chèvre is available all year.
Yeah.
But this is our cranberry and cinnamon.
Where do you get it? Because it's all wrapped.
Oh, this paper is cheese paper. So even what you want to do when you buy cheese, you want to take it out of the plastic right away.
Oh.
And you want to wrap it in cheese paper.
Where do you get cheese paper?
Amazon.
I love it. Okay. Easy.
So this is a soft cheese. So we're going to use our cheese wire.
Okay.
So I'm going to cut one.
Oh, yes.
And then so you can see, and then you'll cut it.
Sounds good.
And this guy goes a long way.
Okay.
So we're going to just do 2 pieces. I'm going to do this one.
Okay.
It's going to feel weird because of the cranberries, but you just pull it aside. And,
Okay.
Yep.
And then we're going to one of my favorite cheeses, too. So what made you decide to go for it, to start this business?
I did catering for a long time, and I just kind of stopped because it was a lot. I was really busy with my kids, and I just, I took a break from food altogether. And I'll just wrap that guy up.
Okay.
Just like that. And I grew up with this. So my grandma's always made them. My mom's made them. It's just like not as intricate as we serve them now, because obviously we eat with our eyes. So you wanted the oohs and our ahs, right? With the roses and the folds and all the pretty things. But Tia Pati, my mom, my great-grandma, my mom, they would always put out a little spread, specifically around the holidays, because the meals would take all day to cook. And so they would put something out for us to just kind of nibble on. And it's like the components of a cheese board, a charcuterie board, it's not a charcuterie board if we don't have charcuterie. And
that's for Ava.
If there's no meat, then it's just a cheese board, right?
Oh, right.
And so the components you want are, of course, your cheese, your meat, your produce, like fruits, or even veggies. And then you want crunch, so nuts and crackers, and then spreads. You want jam. And so we have a lot of my favorites on here. So our cheese is Celebrity Goat, our Manchego, and then we have our brie, our breakfast brie from Mirren Cheese. Favorite crisps in the whole wide world are our Leslie Stowe crisps and crackers, La Panzanea. You cannot go wrong with these two. They're the killer combo.
How did you come across this one?
I just found them.
Oh.
And I love crisps. So it started with Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's has the best crisps.
Okay, they do.
And then I saw these and I was like, oh, those are bigger. Oh. And so I bought them in like 4 or 5 different flavors. And then I tried them all and I was like, oh my God, I'm in love. And so they're a little pricier than Trader Joe's, but again, it's totally worth it.
All right.
And so if you can't see it, our board is already looking super cute.
Yeah, let me get it closer.
Super cute.
Oh my God. We'll take some pictures after for sure.
Yes. So once the cheese is on, before we put the meat in, we want to put anything that's big. So for us, that's going to be our fruit. So I don't know if you want to just do 1 bunch of grapes or a couple or whatever you want. It's your board.
It's on board. We'll do a bunch.
So let's put it somewhere.
Clearly, I don't.
So here's how we style the
I'm freaking out. Okay.
No, it's okay. Listen to your heart. Listen to the heart of your ancestors. No, I'm just kidding. The way we balance the board is by color. So we've got some red over here, but most of our cheese is white. And so we want to kind of go in a direction where there's not a lot of color. Okay. And like I said, with your board, you can move it around. You can adjust it however you want. And now we've created a little pocket right here for our grapes.
Oh my God. So should
just do it like that.
Just like this.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yep. And just drop it in there. Kind of.
I'm gonna surprise Anna with this.
Tuck it. Oh. Just like that. Or we can actually flip it a little.
Cute.
There we go. So now our grapes are
in
there.
Nice. That was a good call. She flipped it over.
Perfect.
Okay, that was good.
So we can even take let's see what we want to do next. Let's put some crackers.
Okay.
These ones have some color to them. These are rosemary, raisin, and pecan. So you'll take like 5 crackers.
Okay.
And we can tuck them in right here.
Like all of them, or
yep, or even right here. Just like a little bunch, just like that. Get them
we're finding a little opening so we can just put in there.
Yep.
So you mentioned earlier how you were like really scared. You're like, oh my God, I'm gonna start this business. But what happens? And what helped you? Because I had a moment like that earlier this year. What helped you kind of like jump over that hurdle?
Leap.
Yeah.
So I made a board for Bunko.
Who?
The football moms. We have a Bunko group.
Oh, okay.
And so we did like our little Christmas party, and we had Bunko, and I took a big board. And then a few ladies kind of approached me offline when I tucked these in somewhere, anywhere, maybe over there by the grapes. Yeah. And it just kind of kept happening. And I was like, I wonder if I really, did this thing, right? Mm-hmm. What would happen? And so I just started.
Wow.
And it just went. And it's just gotten bigger and bigger. My mom's background, aside from culinary, is in marketing. Mm-hmm. So I used to help her make stuff. And then my grandma sold Avon for years.
Okay.
And so, but helping my mom make things for, she did it for chiropractors. So, she would go and take things to the attorney's offices and things like that. And so I'd help her build these things, and presentation is key, right?
Presentation.
We want the oohs and the ahs.
Yes.
And so, I just kind of put that in and went from there.
Wow.
So, but it really was like, because I was sharing with you before, I've had so many lives, right? I went to cosmetology school. I went to culinary school. I've worked in corporate America. I've done all these different things, and I did photography for a while, and then I realized I love taking pictures. Believe it or not, I was not so great with the people.
Really?
Yes. And I'm actually really good with people as a pastor.
In a different setting.
In a different setting.
There you go.
Trying to get kids to stop crying is not my niche.
Yeah, photographers, that's an art that they can
It is. They have such a unique skill set to be able to capture people at their best, because not everybody is photogenic. And so we keep it real. And it's just the truth. And so it was just not my jam. So I've tried so many things, but I always come back to food I think it's because it's so deep and so personal for me. And my husband was just like, what's the worst that could happen?
I love that.
And I was like, well, we could invest $1 billion in it, and then it just doesn't work out. And he goes, and we learned that maybe that wasn't the thing, and we move forward.
That's a cool partner to have.
It is, because, and he is such a businessman, and he gets that from my father-in-law. My father-in-law came over from Mexico, and, he started in different things, but the cash cow was his business on 4th Street. He started a furniture chain store. So it was like here, El Monte, San Fernando. Wow. There was a Buena Park, I think. There was a bunch. It was La Fiesta Furniture.
Wow.
And, and the family just thrived, and, they came with nothing and built something. And a lot of the kids have taken on the roles of entrepreneurs as well. And it's just naturally in my husband. And so his mindset was just like,
go for it.
What's the worst that could happen?
That's awesome.
Failure is not the end. If it doesn't work, you do something else.
Oh.
And
failure is not the end.
It's not. And so we're going to put some more goodies on here.
Let's do it.
So we have our crackers. We have our brie. Try these.
What are they?
Those are Marcona almonds with garlic and herbs.
Oh my God.
Yep. The eye roll for me. That's like when the person goes, oh my gosh. That's it. It's the best. So
wow.
we are gonna
Put them away. I'll eat them all right now.
So we're gonna get our
love
olives and our pickles.
Okay.
And you can try them. I put a little extra so you can taste them. It's good to know what you're putting on the board.
Okay.
And so these guys go in the pockets. So we'll I like to mix them up together. I'll show you.
Okay.
So we'll go over here and we'll kind of just drop a couple olives and we'll wedge a couple pickles in here. And it's okay to layer your board. I mean, people are like, you're covering the cheese. And it's like,
it's okay to layer the board.
The cheese will still be there if you peel back the layers. Then it's kind of like treasure because, you know, you just kind of, you know. I tell people in the workshops, find the little nooks and crannies and tuck stuff in there. See that? Look at how cute that looks.
So cute. Wait, so you do boards and you mentioned a couple times, you also do workshops.
So we actually have, I just did a workshop last Saturday at Poppy Seed Market in Irvine.
Okay.
I just did my reel. My reels are always like a week late. But
they are so good. Follow her. We'll have our information in the description.
And we partnered with Restored Apothecary where you can pour a candle in the first half of the workshop and you pick your scent and everything.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And then even your label or the vessel that goes on your candle.
Okay.
And then while that's setting, you get to build a board to take home.
Love that.
And so
that's so cute.
Thank you. So we have another one, a Christmas themed one. You do a Christmas tree board, and that's going to be at Poppy Seed Market in December.
What day? Do you know the
16th of December. And then we have 3 workshops coming up at the Potting Shed. So we still have fall workshop on the 19th at the Potting Shed, and that's just charcuterie.
Where can we find all this information out?
The links to register are on my Instagram.
Okay, cool.
And then
it's a fun thing to do with my friends, and sisters or whatever. Yeah.
And we provide snacks and beverages.
There's some wine, maybe.
There is some wine.
Okay. Just asking for a friend.
Some adult beverages. Okay. And then we also have 2 Christmas ones at the Potting Shed in December. So we have 4 more workshops you can attend this year.
Okay.
And it's so much fun. So we're gonna take the nuts, and we got a little corner right here, right? You see this little guy where it looks like nothing will fit, right? There we go. You put those right there.
Yeah, I see a spot over here.
And then we can hold on.
I'm like,
we can get these guys down there.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yep. And then maybe we go behind the crackers a little bit just to hide them there.
That's what I was fascinated about your cones, because I'm like, they
never end.
Yeah, it's incredible. I'm like, there's so much food in this cone, and everything was also like the quality of it was like really delicious.
So now we're gonna get some salami on here.
Okay,
so this is an apple with smoked salami.
Oh.
And we are nice big pieces. We're gonna fold them in half and in half again because we have a small board.
Okay.
You're gonna fold some.
Okay. So half and then half again. Okay.
And you see how I have the opening on this side?
Yeah.
We're going to put the opening on the opposite side. So it just kind of gives us some dimension. We'll fold 2 more.
Okay.
Maybe 3.
Okay, so there's that one.
Perfect.
There you go.
And see that? And we're just going to tuck that right there.
Oh, beautiful. Can't wait to get into this.
And now we're also going to add, let's see here, our figs.
Oh, okay.
Let's grab 2 figs.
Okay.
So with fruit, I like to pair them up. So,
so beautiful.
I like to do them in 2s. So we're going to just kind of wedge you in right here and then put you right on top. So we have 2 figs. Perfect. And then we're going to tuck in our dry fruit.
Okay. These are dried
apricots, and they are my favorite. So right here on the other side of the crackers, I'm going to stick 2.
Smells good.
And then you can tuck 2 right in there. 2. Yep.
Okay.
And we kind of pull them apart. See, and does it look like we can get anything else in here?
I don't know.
We absolutely can.
Oh, I'm like, I don't know.
So we're going to cheat. We're going to take our figs back off real quick. Because this is what I do when I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot the figs. We're going to stick these down here so that they're kind of like a surprise.
Oh.
And we're going to put our figs back on. But we're still going to stick this guy right here just so we know that it's there.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a meal.
And we're not done. We have our jam we got to fit on here. Where are we going to put this thing?
I don't know.
We are going to stick it right.
Oh my God.
There.
It is so precious. Okay, I need to take a picture of this on my phone. Let's do this. Oh my God, this is so cute. Oh, this is my B-roll. So they'll see me. This is it. Wow.
And it's not even done yet.
Wait, it's not?
No. Nope.
What else?
So now we have to garnish.
Oh my God.
And so we still have a lot of white on here. And we're going to use our sage. Oh my gosh, so I have a funny story about sage.
Okay.
So when I went to do that workshop, that candle one, she has all these fun stickers that you can use as labels, right?
Okay.
And she had one that said, "Go sage yourself." Cracking up. I was like,
Oh my God.
there you go.
Love it, love it.
So usually these just break right off. There we go. And we want kind of like these little guys.
Oh my God. Smells
You smell it?
incredible. Oh my gosh.
So we see there's a lot of kind of browns in here.
Okay.
We can stick this guy right in here. So he gives us a nice little pop of green. And we want to find the dull spaces. So like, and you just kind of lift that up and tuck him right there.
Oh my God. Adorable. What's your favorite part of the bowl to eat? What's your favorite?
Oh, the cheese.
The cheese. Usually cheese.
The cheese and the prosciutto for sure.
Okay.
And then when it's kind of wonky like this,
Okay.
we can just take a couple leaves. And we can come in here behind these crackers. Yeah, don't be afraid to lift stuff up and move it around. Remember, it's your board. And if it doesn't come out exactly how you envisioned it, don't ever apologize. Julia Child said it best. Never apologize.
I still need to watch that movie. I know. It's on my, I know.
You have to.
I know, I haven't.
We can even tuck it in here too. Let's get
Wow,
that just
beautiful.
like that. We can turn this guy this way. And we're done.
Gotta take a little video. Okay, now this is the end product. Okay, this is it. Wow. How long do you think it'll last? Oh, there's a reason why I'm asking. Trust me. I'll tell you right now.
The crackers, with it in here, you should probably eat it today.
Okay.
But if you pull the crackers out and then you can just kind of wedge them back in later, it'll last till tomorrow.
Okay. Because it's our anniversary on Sunday, but it might not last till. I was like, oh, maybe we can eat it on Sunday, but no, we'll get into it tonight probably.
It's your anniversary
I
on
know.
Sunday.
Yes.
Sweet. You know, this gap is killing me.
We need to add more.
One thing.
Okay.
So it's so funny. People, a lot of times they'll see the prosciutto on there.
Okay.
Let me show you the trick to peeling prosciutto, because
Okay.
prosciutto can be a little brat. So we're gonna always we're gonna pull this off, right?
Okay.
Very carefully, because it is so temperamental. And then we are gonna lay it flat.
Okay.
And then we're gonna peel this. But the key is laying it flat.
Laying it flat. Nobody ever does that.
And then
People are always, including myself, just.
you can ribbon it. I'm gonna show you how to make your ribbon.
Okay.
Or you can just crunch it up into a little ball, and that'll be totally fine.
What do you do? What do you like to do?
For boards, for others, I'll make a ribbon. For mine, I just kind of crumple it up because we rip it to shreds. We share it because this one piece of prosciutto is actually not one serving. It's like two. It's enough for 2 to 3 people.
Right.
And we're just going to pinch
Oh,
the bottom like a
cute.
little fan.
So cute.
And we're going to move these grapes just a smidge. And we're going to tuck it in right there.
Wow.
There we go.
You're like, now it's done.
It needed just a little more meat.
I love it. Okay.
Cowgirl Creamery makes a fantastic brie, and Point Reyes also makes some really good blue cheese and their Toma cheese. Both of those companies are based in California and women owned. And I didn't even know that. I just really loved the cheese.
It's attracting. You're attracting it.
And so it's like,
I love it. Well, this has been an incredible day. What a conversation. I was like, I got lost in it with you, and I absolutely really appreciated.
So much fun.
Yeah, I appreciate all your wisdom today. I feel like, I feel hopeful. I feel excited. Yes, seriously. And I'm really excited to eat this. I think Anna will be very happy. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for this beautiful.
Well, you helped make it.
I did.
You helped make it.
But now I actually feel like more confident to next time around. I'm like.
And that's the key. Like we with food, it's like, and even in this business, my boards are not going to look like everybody else's boards. And your food is not going to look like everybody else's food. But if you put your hands to it, be proud of what you made and do your thing, because the world, like, we blessed the Kardashians earlier, but the world doesn't need more of the same thing. Doesn't need us all trying to be a Kardashian. They are their own niche.
Right.
The world needs Jacqueline to be Jacqueline.
Whoa.
The world needs Katrina to be Katrina. And it needs us to create what we create, because nobody can do what you do.
Wow. I love how deep you go.
I don't mean to. It's just the truth.
I'm just like,
it's just the truth. And these are principles I live by. And this is what helps kill that fear of, this doesn't look good. It doesn't look like the way it's supposed to. Actually, it's exactly the way it's supposed to, because no one can make what I make. No one can make what you make. No one can reach the people that you reach. Not for you to do.
Oh my gosh.
So,
if I had a glass, I'd be like, cheers.
Yeah,
I'd be like, cheers right now.
We're missing it. Cheers. But.
Well, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for what you will, the lives that you're going to touch here with this food. That's going to be cool. I'm really excited. Actually, I'm going to tell my friends about this. I'm like, wait, when's the link? I'm like, I want to post this before.
You can always post a private workshop too. That's another thing most people don't know that we do. So, our minimum is 8 people. So if you've got 8 friends, I can come to you and do a workshop in your house.
Shut up.
Outside by your pool.
That's cool.
Wherever you like. I can come to you, and you can have like a girls' night in, or friends,
that's cool.
Couples, whatever you want to do. And we teach you how to do the board. You make it, and at the end of the night, you have a board for up to 4 people to take home and enjoy.
Love. Thank you, Kat.
Thank you,
Katrina.
This was special.
Yeah, this was very special.
Really special.
All right, y'all. Till next time. In the meantime, go check out more about Board and Berry down here in the description. You want to point?
Point
right
down
there. Just right down there.
Right down there.
And where can I get one of these cheese cards?
Amazon. I'm telling you, Amazon is like.
Dude, if you leave with anything today, you can have cheese paper. I did not.
Cheese paper.
Cheese
and
paper.
It will prolong the life of your cheese and keep it fresh.
All right, I know what I'm doing tonight. Get some cheese paper.
Cheese paper. Thank you.
Thank you.